Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 11 of What If Naruto Lost Everything and Traveled to the DC Universe. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episodes of the other channels. If you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, yes, I indeed have 4 channel guys which I post what fun every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new so I can reply and talk back to all of you. And also guys, don't forget to turn on the bell notification and see exactly when I post because I do post a lot. So without further ado or wasting any more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode begin? Now guys. So the last spot we left off, both Naruto and Kara got drunk as they ended up passing out. The next morning came as Naruto went to the kitchen to make some hangover cure for the both of them. As he was inside making them, Kara decided to come up behind him without saying anything as she was floating off the ground, not making a sound. The moment she touched him, his instincts kicked in as he ended up socking her right in the face. She was blasted through the wall. Batman appeared on the scene as he said PTSD. It was a good thing that Kara was alright. Her nose was broken but, well, she was relatively fine. But she wanted to discuss what just happened though. So with that, Batman gave Naruto the file, the dossier on Slade. As Naruto read through it, once he was gone, after making them breakfast which was rather surprising, Kara spoke to Naruto. The both of them got into a bit of a fight, as she wanted to know that he was safe, that he didn't have to act that way. However, Naruto had to tell her that it was not like that. Things could not be solved that easily, as they didn't really get along that easily with that. However, it caused her to leave. A good thing though Barbara came by, as Barbara spoke to her as the both of them went out. Meanwhile that was going on, Naruto left, as Kara had came back to speak with Naruto but he was not there. She hoped wherever he was okay, as Naruto had made his way off and left his communicator. Naruto made his way as Batman arrived to see him at the city, as he told Naruto about a warehouse. First, Naruto went to visit the Titans as he found out from Raven about Brother Blood. Sneaking into the jail cell, Naruto found Brother Blood as he got all information that he needed. He then went to the old warehouse as he met Wintergreen on the computer in front of him as they spoke. Through the conversation, Naruto was able to figure out what exactly Slade wanted as he made his way back home. Arriving there to see Kara, he told her Slade wanted to die. That was it. Slade had sell his soul, as Trigon had basically took it and refused to bring his wife back. He had been killed by Terra, and that alone could retrieve his soul, but now he wanted to go out in a fight of glory. And that was the only way he saw himself being taken down. The only way that he could justify himself being taken down. And he wanted to make the fight as good as well for Naruto, that is why Slade had injected himself with multiple serums, as his strength, his speed, everything was excelling beyond the normal human comprehension. As it was rising and rising and rising, soon enough you'll be ready for Naruto. It wasn't long before Naruto told Kara everything, as she kind of understand, thinking on it on Slade's point of view as he was once a hero, and his wife was taken away from him because of his, well, heroship. As she kind of understand now. But Naruto had to be prepared. His system was still a mess from the overusage of the fox chakra that coursed through him. As Naruto was gonna make sure that wasn't a problem anymore. As he made his way, he wanted a place to work out, a place away from civilization so he didn't have to worry about meaningless death. As Doctor, Fate arrived on the scene as he told John that he had the perfect place, as he took Naruto there. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the play check of yourself, and what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode begin now guys. So we're here once again, said Naruto, as they appear in Dr. Fate Tower, as Naruto had remembered the decor. Yes, Dr. Fate said as he motioned, as he moved forward. This is my home, the Tower of Fate. It's hidden away in an oasis in Egypt. Plenty of space for you to train whatever you need to train. However, Jason Blood said from his spot, drinking tea. Next to him was the Tana, and this time Shining Knight with Aquaman was with them. We need to discuss more about the Kyuubi. You did not tell us everything there was to know about him being sealed inside of you, or your interaction with him, said Jason Blood, as he sipped some more of the tea. Naruto folded his arms. And you think I will tell you now, he said. We understand that you have doubts, Mr. Uzumaki, said Dr. Fate, but we mean you no harm. As Aquaman snorted, unless you threaten Atlantis. If you are your demon, do. I will gut you where you stand, as he finished by branching his spear arm with a growl. However, a kunai was placed at Aquaman's throat, as Naruto stood behind him, shocking the others. I would love to see you try, Goldfish, said Naruto, as Aquaman looked towards the dangerous weapon right at his jugular. Arthur, Naruto, stand down. We only want to talk, Zatanna said, trying to diffuse the tension that was currently brewing between them. Tell that to the Goldfish, said Naruto as he removed the kunai and started to walk back to the front. Why don't you sit down, Dr. Fate said. Inza will be bringing us tea shortly. As Naruto sat down as they noticed that he had yet to put away the kunai, Dr. Fate sighed as he started to speak. After the desert incident a few days ago, we conversed with Etrigan about the attack that you had unleashed. It brought up troubling news aside from the destruction that it can cause. What could possibly be troubling about the Biju bomb, besides from its power, said Naruto. Naruto was not stupid. He knew that using the Biju bomb would put him in the crosshair of a lot of people. After all, it was his home's strongest attack that Jinchuriki could use. The ultimate attack. According to Etrigan, to use that attack you must have total control over the demon within, or be on good terms with it, Jason said, causing Alter to growl. Naruto tilted his head towards the goldfish. I take it the goldfish over there has had a nasty run-in with some demon of a kind, said Naruto, as Aquaman only growled some more. An internal dimensional deity that stole people's souls. So yes, the knowledge that you hold the Kyuubi inside of you and have some kind of terms with it is rather unsettling to him. And me as well, Jason confirmed. Well, don't worry about it, said Naruto. As I told you the last time we spoke, he can't get out without dying. In the end, this meeting is pointless, Naruto said, in a bored tone. But why? Zatanna asks. From what we can guess, he's no longer contained by the seal, for you to be able to use that kind of attack. Which begs the question why a demon as strong as the Kyuubi would want to remain sealed. Because it is what we agreed upon, said Naruto, as he did not elaborate. But how did you get a demon as powerful as that to agree upon those terms? Dr. Fate asks. As Naruto looked away, the memories of his old world with him and Kurama struggling, battling, trying to dominate one another until they came up on their agreement. Naruto got to his feet. My agreement is none of your business, he said. If you need me, I'll be outside training, he said. Huh, a pleasant fellow, Shining Knight said, speaking up for the first time since Naruto arrived. Do not judge him, Inja said, walking with Shira. While I have not met him personally, the 2 times he has visited the tower, I sense a great pain inside of him. He feels like the weight of the world is on his shoulders. The others knew of Inza's empathy abilities and became lost in their own thoughts on the matter at hand. Meanwhile, so he just left, not telling you where he was going, Barbara asks. As the 2 girls were grabbing a late lunch, Barbara did not wake up until about 1 in the afternoon. Yeah, and the worst part about it was, he's planning to kill Slade. Kara did not feel like eating as she was playing with a straw in her soda. He realized what this will do to the league, right? Barbara asks, still trying to come to terms with the fact that Naruto was planning on killing Slade. He does, and while I know that he's not sorry about it, he does feel bad about it, said Kara, with a sigh. How could you tell? Barbara asks. It was known that Superman or Supergirl did not know that much about body language. It was in his eyes, also. While me and Kal-El aren't that good with body language, he did teach me how to listen to someone's heart to know if they're lying. Let's just hope the media does not get wind of this, otherwise there will be so much more problems on our hands. As Kara simply nodded, as she thought to herself, I know that you feel like you have to do this, Naruto. And while I understand why, I'm still having trouble accepting it. Just be safe and please, think of the rest of us, she thought to herself. Meanwhile, Master Wilson. Wintergreen said as he stepped out of the control room. I must congratulate you on a successful power boost. Slade nodded with a smirk to his old friend. Yes, indeed. This will make things far more interesting when we finally meet. But he stopped talking for a while. Testing will only get you so far, he said as he was walking down the corridor. Time to get a real-world application and see firsthand how Nightwing is doing. As Slade made his way to his room, he stepped inside as he grabbed his face mask. As he looked up towards a photo of his wife. It has been 20 years since you were taken away from me, he said. I was a terrible father and a horrible husband. I hope when we meet again that you can forgive me, he said. As he placed his mask on and left the room, making his way. Time skip. So, what happened, Bruce said as he looked down towards Nightwing. Currently, they were in the medical bay of the Titan Tower, surrounded by Nightwing's entire team in their own bed. As Dick Grayson looked down, he hated being in a hospital bed at the moment, especially in front of his mentor. He didn't like to be laid up like this. Of course he would show up when I'm injured, not when we're actually doing good for the city, he thought to himself. As he looked towards Batman, a bank robbery that turned into more than we bargained for, he said. As he told how his entire team was overpowered and beaten down. Flashback. Titans, go! Nightwing said. As the Titans were facing Plasmis, Cinderblock, and Overload. Why are they robbing the bank? Boyfriend Nightwing. Starfire asks as she flew downwards. Cause your villain, Star. What other reason do they need? Said Beast Boy. As he transformed into a rhino and charged Cinderblock, hoping to knock him down. Starfire is right to question their motivation, Beast Boy. Nightwing said as he dodged toxic waste being spit at him from Plasmis. This is not their normal MO. He glanced towards his right as he saw that Cyborg was in the right position, as he quickly dodged some more poison gas before he pulled out an explosive and launched it towards the oozing monster. Once he did as it implanted into his chest, Cyborg proceeded to fire his cannon blast as the thing exploded, blowing it away, leaving behind a sleeping man in its place. As Nightwing rushed forward in place, noise-canceling earphone on his head to make sure that the monster did not come out once again. Where did you even get those? I mean, come on, man. There's not even a spot on your belt for the headphones, Cyborg said, confused where he got them from. Nightwing simply smiled as he tapped a point on his utility belt. Bat collapsing. Noise-canceling headphones. Never leave home without them, he said. As Cyborg sighed before he aimed his cannon towards Overload to knock him right into Raven Trap. We seriously need to have a discussion on your weird obsession about being over-prepared, said Cyborg. I agree with friend Cyborg, boyfriend Nightwing, said Starfire. She kicked Cinderblock, causing Beast Boy to run right into him in his rhino form. By this point, Raven already caught the other in her trap, as she ripped the pipe from the walls and poured water on the electrified monster. As the team then regathered up after they restrained Cinderblock, well, that was easy, as both Beast Boy and Cyborg high-fived. It's because we're awesome, man. No one can beat the Titans, Cyborg said, as he gave off a little dance, causing Starfire to smile happily, as Raven cracked a small smile. No, Nightwing said, causing everyone's mood to drop. We are just used to dealing with them now. They have become predictable and easy to deal with, he said. Man, Beast Boy said. Way to throw a dead cat into a live party, Nightwing. Without bothering to respond to his teammate, the ex-Boy Wonder made his way over towards Cinderblock to begin the interrogation. Why did you target the bank's stone head? Nightwing said, causing Cinderblock to simply smirk at him, which of course caused Nightwing anger issues to flare their head, as he went into his pouch, as he pulled out brass knuckles that were painted black with blue birds on them. "I won't ask again," he said, as he pulled his arm back, ready to throw a devastated punch in the metahuman. "It was merely to draw your attention, Nightwing." A familiar cold voice spread through the area. The entire team snapped their head around to see Slade, standing at the second level on the bank. But instead of the black and grey uniform with the black and bronze mask, he stood in a solid black suit with body armor in more places than before. Bronze shoulders connected with ammo belt running across his chest, a special rifle and blade across his back. He had 3 guns none of the team has ever seen strapped to his belt, along with 2 more holstered on his thighs. The only thing that reminded him that it was Slade was his mask and his cold tone that came from behind it. "It has been far too long, Titans," he said. "And I must say, I'm sort of impressed. Even being used to dealing with those 3. You sort of took them down faster than even I expected." Each Titan started to think of a plan to assist the other, but they all knew that Nightwing was going to be a problem in the coming fight. His issue with Slade would once more rear their heads, and it would be a problem. But enough chatting, Slade said. "Let's have some fun," as he produced several black balls, similar to what Nightwing and Batman used for explosives. And true to what they looked like, he threw them as they exploded, causing the Titans to spread apart. "Don't let him catch you alone," Nightwing yelled out to his team as he pulled 2 batons, before he clapped them together, turning it into a staff. Starfire found him first, along with Cyborg and Raven, but they noticed that Beast Boy was nowhere to be seen. "Friend Beast Boy," Starfire called out, only for a green blur to come flying towards them, as he crashed right on the ground in front of them unconscious. Both of his arms were bent in an unnatural manner. Then again, the voice of Slade rang out. "I expected him to last longer than that. Hopefully, the rest of you will not disappoint me." The other 4 tensed as they got ready for attack, as Cyborg had his cannon out. Raven had dark energy facing another direction, while Starfire hands were glowing green, as Nightwing took a protective stance over Beast Boy with his staff pointing towards one direction. They had all their flanks covered. Before they knew it, the mercenary descended upon them, this time with the intent to kill, which was evident from the sword that removed Cyborg's arm from only after a second that he attacked. "Shit!" The Metal Titan cried out in surprise and slight pain to losing the mostly artificial limb. The others, not expecting to land right in the middle of their formation, had to spin around. Against a normal villain, the Titan reaction time would have caught the villain by surprise and the battle would be over. However, this was not a normal villain by any sense of the word. This was Deathstroke, the Terminator, world-class assassin and mercenary, and considered the best by all. Moving at his newly enhanced speed, Slade spun as he turned towards Nightwing. Nightwing was shocked when his bow was sliced in half as an energy blast slammed right into him. Rolling with the blast, Nightwing got back up as he saw Raven got slapped with some kind of goo over her mouth, cutting off her power. Knowing that Starfire possessed a very powerful fighting style and frame, Nightwing held back for a moment, trying to understand what was going on with Slade. He's gotten faster and stronger, Nightwing thought, as he watched him and Starfire duke it out, while Raven and Cyborg got Beast Boy and retreated towards a safe distance. And he's never come at us with guns before, or a blade. Plus, I have no idea where that energy blast came from. Normally he will fight me on the same level, but this is different. What the hell is this game, Nightwing thought, as he saw Slade move in on his girlfriend, unguarded side, and grab her leg as he snapped her knee. Quickly reaching to his belt, he launched projectile towards him, causing the man to jump away, as he used the 2 batons in his hand as he re-engaged his attack with Slade. Slade dodged the first attack by backpedaling a bit, as he dodged the second one by twisting his body out of the way. As he ducked under the third one, he twists and leaned. Nightwing could not get a single hit on him. Slade then saw the perfect opening as he ducked under the first strike that came from the left. The second one that came from the right allowed him to went under Nightwing guard before he opened his palm and struck it in Nightwing's chest with tremendous force. There was a cracking sound signifying the breaking of a rib. as Nightwing staggered back in pain. Slade did not stop though. Bringing the hilt of his blade forward, he slammed it right into Nightwing's jaw. There was a cracking sound once again. He then brought the blade upwards. Thanks to all the training from Batman and the suit being tough, Nightwing was able to pull his body back as the suit got slashed, but luckily he was not underneath. "Well, Titans," Slade said as he sheathed his blade, "I expected better, but then again, you are not my real targets." That caused their eyes to widen as Slade started to walk away. "Tell Shinobi I'll be seeing him very soon." The other three gave their questioning looks while Raven glared at the retreating form of Slade. End of flashback. "And he just left after that," Nightwing said, finishing up the recap to Batman. "Who is Shinobi?" he asked. Batman looked at him for a few seconds before he reached and pulled out a dossier as he tossed it on his bed. As Nightwing picked it up and looked through it and started to skim through it. "Your entire team is lucky to be alive. You may have had confrontations with Slade before, however, he was just testing you. He never came after you and your team with the intent to kill. And you did not do your homework otherwise. After your first meeting with him, you would have contacted me, regardless of our differences." Nightwing teammate eyes were widened at Batman's statement while the Wonder Boy eyes were widened as he looked over everything. He then threw it back towards Batman. "There is information on his battles with us in here. How dare you criticize my lack of requesting help when you could have sent us this information? You never change. You're overbearing ass that has to have his way." Nightwing teammates were confused by his reaction. Sure, they knew that he had fallen out with Batman, the only human on Earth that was able to scare pretty much every villain. But this was something entirely different to them. However, Batman was unfazed as he stood there. Bruce said, "I respected your wish to be on your own. You are 19, Nightwing. You've been on your own since you graduated. And you were on your own even before that." As Bruce walked forward and placed a hand on his shoulder. "That never meant I stopped caring," he said. "I won't apologize for the past or anything I might do in the future. The war on crime and injustice is a difficult one that require hard decisions. Some I'm going to have to do despite hating them. But I can never doubt my resolve. As individuals with no power to speak of, we get to stick to making the hard choices. The choices that would keep Wonder Woman or Superman up all night with questions about what is right and wrong. Remember, it is not who we are underneath, but what we do that defines us." As Batman started to leave, but Dick called out to him, "Who's Shinobi?" As Batman glanced back towards him, but he did not speak as he proceeded to leave. Guess he's playing this close to his chest once again. Raven, who had been struggling with a handheld laser to get free of the goo off her mouth, spoke up. "Shinobi is a new member of the Justice League that Slade has targeted." "Friend Raven," Starfire said, flying over towards her. "You can speak once more. That's splendid news. I shall make the cake of happiness." Raven sighed before she pried herself out of Starfire's arms. Why couldn't he have broken one of your arms? She thought to herself. As she glanced towards Nightwing, "He stopped in the other night to speak to me about Slade. But instead of asking me about him directly, he asked how he came in services with my father." "And?" Nightwing said, looking at her. "And nothing," she said. "We never bothered to find out how he came to service with my father. He asked a few more questions, then he left." Nightwing nodded before he turned and faced the wall, trying to process everything that he learned today. Not only did Bruce have a complete dossier on Slade, he even knew that Reddix was his son as well. Damn it. No matter how much I try to improve, no matter how much I try to show I'm good, as he is, he sweeps in here and take me to school, like I just start the hero game. Memories resurface of him training in the Batcave, becoming the first Robin, as he glanced over toward his smiling girlfriend. "School me all you want, old man," he said. "I may never be as good as you once were, but I think I'll be okay." "Titans," Nightwing said, in a much more calmer attitude. "I think it's time that we change something up around here." As Cyborg and Raven both smirked. Starfire smiled towards her boyfriend. As Beast Boy looked confused. "Change what up?" he said. Time skip. As Naruto was currently hunching down in the desert, sweat was glistening off his body as it was a canteen in his hand as he drank water out of it. So, Kurama began. You still managed to look like a drunk fool, wielding that blade. I mean, it can't be that hard. That eyebrowless freak was able to wield it with ease. Plus, I thought you were giving Slade a worthy fight. That means you will have to use that piece of metal that Kiri believe is a blade. And sure enough, behind Naruto was the head cleaver blade that once belonged to Zabuza. Shut it, you furry asshole, said Naruto. That thing is almost as big as I am. Every time I try for a diagonal cut, the thing always gets stuck. And for the life of me, I don't know how to channel chakra into the blade. He had heard rumors about the blade regenerating with the iron within people blood, and he presumed that it needed chakra to do so. So he tried to channel his chakra through it, but all attempts so far has failed miserably. As Naruto started to gather natural energy inside of him, trying to finish the attempt of healing what Kurama chakra did to his system, feeling the warmth of the natural energy spread through him. You can come out now, said Naruto, as he did not move. He felt someone watching him for a while now, and since he was only trying to improve his skills with the blade, he did not really do anything because the person was not hostile. As the woman stepped out from where she was, I apologize, she said. I did not mean to impede your training or your rest. My name is Inza. I am Kent, Nelson's wife. You may know my husband as Dr. Fate. As Naruto nodded, still not bothering to get up from his resting position. Anything you want to ask, Nelson-san, he said. Or are you spying on me for your husband friends that do not trust me? To make sure that my demon does not come out, said Naruto. She picked up on the sarcasm in his tone when regarding the demon. It is almost like he's friends with the beast, she thought to herself, as she studied him with her eyes and abilities. She smiled as she walked over and sat down next to him. I must apologize for my husband friends. They are only looking out for the good of the people, and the Kyuubi strike fear even into Echigan, so they must be cautious. They did not mean any offense. I understand that, said Naruto as he watched the clouds pass up ahead. But being forced into the league, and then questioned over and over again about my abilities is rather daunting. It also leaves one with a lack of trust towards his allies. Understandable, however, your deal with the demon is more than a daunting lack of trust, she said. The Kyuubi, from what we know, is a force of nature itself, brought to life by the Reaper and empowered with the hatred and rage of mankind. You wielded that power against a menace that came up against the League, and you took them out by yourself. Your abilities are unknown, and since you were forced to join the League, as you said, others regard you with a lack of trust. Her tone was soft and even throughout all of that. Never once did she change it. And trust is a two-way street, she said, as Naruto nodded as he knew what she was trying to do. And it was rather hard to resist, especially with what was coming with Slade. True, said Naruto, trust is a two-way street. I also can appreciate what you're doing here, but in the end, I never wanted this, said Naruto. Caused Naruto to raise the eyebrow at that statement. I wanted a simple life away from all of this, but once more I am thrust into the heart of battle, for a world that isn't my own, simply because I decided to save a few people during the attack on Metropolis. She smiled as she looked at him. If you wanted nothing to do with the League, or battling for the Earth, then why did you save those people? You had to know that Superman was gonna save them. Naruto opened his eyes as he turned to face her, yeah. But it was a hostage situation, and they did not need him to barge in there. I think that is what you're trying to tell yourself, and not what the true reason is, she said, as she got up and started to walk away. As Naruto watched her leave, the words that Kakashi told him all those years ago when he first killed someone rang through his mind. A sentence stood out from everything else. We do not fight for ourselves. We fight for the village that we call our home, and the people who are there that cannot fight for themselves. As Naruto rose from the sand, I may fight different from the League. I may have to kill once more, but then again that is my purpose. As Naruto grabbed the blade and ripped it from the sand, as he began a kata fighting style. The sword moved easier in his hands, as it was responding to his will. I guess in the end I didn't want to fight. I want to protect people like I did before. And your farm? And what about your mate? Kurama asked. The farm will remain as it is, said Naruto. Batman has a bat cave, and whatever life you live outside the uniform. Superman has an apartment in Metropolis and live as Clark Kent. I believe I deserve my own, said Naruto. Finishing the kata, Naruto placed the blade back into the sand as he pulled up the water bottle and started to drink. As for Kara, I think she'll be mad. Hell, she's mad now. But she will understand, said Naruto. Kurama smiled at his host as he lay his head down as he thought. The coming fight should be entertaining, to say at least. But your actions may prove to throw you into coming events that neither of us truly understands. I feel another storm coming, one that may be even more dreadful than the other. Meanwhile, Naruto was doing that. So, with Naruto gone, doing whatever he's doing, do you want to come to Gotham for a bit? Barbara asked, as she was packing to go back home. And what, pray tell, is in Gotham beside from work? Every time I come to visit you there, something major always happens. First there was that whole Livewire thing. Then there was that time during Christmas when Clayface was on a rampage. God, that guy's a sexist pig. And let's not forget about the second time that we had to deal with Ivy and Harley. Barbara laughed before she threw a pillow towards Kara. The whole Livewire thing is how we met, remember? Secondly, you can't just sit there and tell me that the other times were not fun. You got to punch Clayface until he was pretty much battered. Kara smiled at that too, and I could use some punching therapy right now. As she got up and started packing, with the help of super speed did not take long. Crooks of Gotham beware, Barbara said, laughing at her speeding friend. Supergirl has got some issues with her boyfriend, and is about to take them out on you guys. Hey, since you're coming, can you just fly my car there, she said. The drive is a murder. Meanwhile, Slade took in a deep breath. It is good to be back where it all started, as he was in the alleyway, in the heart of Gotham. Master Wilson, is this wise? Slade turned to face his longtime butler and friend, as he was in the capital of crime. No, he said. It goes against everything. That is why it is perfect. This will set in motion everything to come, and change the face of the world. As he reached into his pouch and pulled a key. My old friend, he said, take these, and head back to the mansion. As he was holding a hard drive as well. The hard drive will explain everything why I'm doing this. I just ask that you do not hate me when everything is over. As Wintergreen took the item. Sir, he said, as he saluted, I will do my best to see what you ask of me, through to the end. But I must ask, what will this change? What is going to happen, he said. Slade looked over the decaying section of Gotham, run with crime, disease, pestilence. The Joker once said that this town deserved a better class of criminals. What followed the city and the rest of the world, no one could predict. The government continued to lose ground against them and invaders from off-world. They are scared of the Justice League, following the path of the other world, and installing themselves as gods. As he turned to face Wintergreen as he smiled. You hold the key to my dream. My goals, they end here. But my dream, I leave to you. He then flipped off the building as he pulled his grapple gun and swung to the other one. You never lost sight then, Slade, Wintergreen said, using his friend's name for the first time in 30 years, as he made his way back to the jet. Moments later, Arkham Asylum, Slade said as he glanced up towards the jail place. You hold the most twisted, evil, and psychotic criminals in Gotham, possibly the whole world. As he looked down towards his hand where there was a detonator, as he pressed the button, it was quiet for a moment until a massive explosion ripped through the entire place inside. At the same time, a crack of lightning ripped from the heavens as thunder could be heard, as rain blanketed the rush of super criminals from the prison. Come out, Shinobi. Come out wherever you are, he said, as he hopped off to another building. Meanwhile, what the hell, said Kara, as she was above the city. Barbara Carr was being held up by her. Said Redhead was in the car. What's up, Kara? Something going on out there? Barbara asked, sticking her head through the window into the rain. Yeah, said Kara, Armageddon. We need to get to Bruce Mansion. You got your uniform in there. As Barbara shouted out yes as she started changing the flying car, as they made their way down trying to understand what was going on. Landing a few minutes later and changing into her uniform, as Kara followed Barbara down into the Bat Cave. You know, this is the first time I've actually seen the actual mansion, said Kara. Barbara chuckled as she moved the clock into the cave. I hate to say it, but it will probably be the only time that you get to see it. Grumpy ass, Kara said, her favorite nickname for Batman as they descended down into the cave. They arrived to see Tim, Alfred, and surprisingly, Diana. "Ah, Mistress Barber," Alfred said when he saw her, as he saw Kara as well. "And it's good to see you again, Miss Kara," he said. "I'm afraid that we're in quite the pickle," as they both greeted Alfred before turning to Tim. "How bad is it, Tim?" The boy wonder turned towards the computer. "Bad," he said, as he typed a few things. "Armageddon. That's the best way I can describe it." "Called it," said Kara, as they all turned towards her, making her blush. As Tim started to pull up different security cameras all over. We have Ivy and Harley causing all kind of problems at the Gotham Garden Mechanicals. We have Killer Croc running loose at the water treatment plant. We have Mad Hara held up at the amusement park. "Is that all?" Diana asked as she looked over the video feeds. "That's all who are causing a mess right now. We have Mr. Freeze, NRK, Black Mass, Bane, the Riddler. They're all accounted for." "Tim, stay here," said Barbara as she headed over towards the old robbing bike. "I need you to guide Diana to the gardens to hold off Ivy and Harley, and Kara to the water plant to take on Killer Croc. I will deal with Mad Hatter." "Has Bruce returned yet?" she asked. Tim shook his head no, as Barbara showed them a transmitter that will help Robin guide them towards the location. As she took off on the bike, making her way through the waterfall, as Alfred handed the transmitters over to the girls. As they're walking out, Kara had to ask, "So what are you doing here?" she said. "Bruce and I were going to talk further about the Project Cadmus. However, he weaseled himself out of the conversation. So I informed Alfred that I'll be staying here until he returns." Kara blinked once, then twice, as she almost lost control of her pattern, seeing that they were now flying. As she wanted to laugh so hard. "Alright, you two, cut the chatter," Tim's voice said through their ears, as he was speaking in the earpiece. "Supergirl, you need to gear left, and for about 2 miles you'll find the water treatment plant there. Wonder Woman, just keep on heading straight. When you see the zoo, under the bank to the right, you will see the gardens there." "Thanks, Robin." As they proceeded to split up, Kara arrived within minutes as she saw Killer Croc, as he was making a mess of the water treatment plant. "You know," she said, hovering down, "I'm sure others here in Gotham might enjoy the clean water." Croc picked up a destroyed pipe as he hurled it towards her. She ducked underneath it though. "Well, that wasn't very nice," she said, as she flew towards him and launched a devastating uppercut right under his chin. He was sent straight towards the ceiling. She caught him and grabbed his leg as she proceeded to spin until she became a blue, red and white blur. She then released him as he crashed into the wall as it collapsed on top of him. "Killer Croc is out," she said. "Do you guys really have problems dealing with this bozo?" she said, as she thought he was stronger than that. She heard a laugh from the other end of the line. "Not all of us have superpowers, but if you're free, wrap him up in a couple of girders. I'll call the police and send them on your way." "Roger that," she said as she grabbed some of the girders and wrapped him up, as she used her heat vision to seal it around him. "That will do," she said. "Yo, Robin, do you know if either Wonder Woman or Batgirl are finished yet?" "I could use a few villains to punch," she said. The line was quiet for a moment until she heard, "It looks like Batgirl is finished with Mad Hatter and is heading towards the garden to help out Wonder Woman. You can head there. I'm sure that Ivy will have some plant monsters that you can use to smash." "Sounds good to me," as she was about to dart it off until, "Leaving so soon? You know, I went through a lot of trouble to create a distraction to get you all alone." She knew that voice all too well. Slade. "I thought you were after my boyfriend," she said, looking around, as she could not see him as she switched to her X-ray vision. "I am, but to draw him out, to truly draw him out, I need some bait." Kara laughed at his comment. "You think I will come willingly? You must have lost a couple brain cells along the way." She was starting to get a bit nervous even though she was acting rather brave. "He has gotten a job on me before with kryptonite, and even Batman is cautious when dealing with this freak. Now where could he be?" she thought, as she kept her X-ray vision up, trying to pinpoint his exact location. No one ever become baked willingly. She heard once again, but she was unable to pinpoint where exactly the voice came from. Suddenly she was struck in the back by something blasting her right into the water. Slade rose from the water, smiling. "That is why I brought this," he said. Struggling to get up, she looked to see him holding a strange gun. The top was glowing green. "This Supergirl is a project of LexCorp, the multiple energy repeater, currently loaded with an energy kryptonite magazine. However, it is interchangeable with other type of energy magazines. Bastard, Kara muttered as she struggled to get up. He moved forward in a taunting pace. Maybe, he said, but in the end, it does not really matter, does it? As he left the gun right at her head. A little lesson for next time. When you're in an area with water, don't forget to check in the water too. As he blasted right in her skull. Not enough to kill, but enough to knock out, he said. As he placed the gun back where it was supposed to be. You know, Luthor, he thought to himself, if you stop only looking at one thing, you might be a lot further than you are right now. But you're simply obsessed with a man in tights. He pulled the transmitter and the lead communicator out of her ears. As he picked her up and brought her along. Meanwhile, thank you for the assistance, sister. It's no problem, Wonder Woman. So I take it that you're staying until Batman get back. Batgirl said with a slight blush from the older woman praise. Diana nodded and started to follow her towards a motorcycle that she was currently using. Yes. Your mentor and I need to finish a conversation we started the other day. From the sounds of things, you seem pretty pissed off, Barbara said, as she placed on her helmet. You would be too if you knew what he was doing. As Barbara dropped the subject, she knew that Batman always did things that pissed people off. But she also knew that some of the things that he did was because no one else would do them. Sometimes she truly believed that he was the darkness within the light. They arrived about 20 minutes later and saw Bruce typing away at the Bat computer. I said I was sorry they both heard, Tim said to Bruce. As the Bat Wonder looked quite upset. And I told you it's not your fault, Bruce said. You did not know something was wrong until the transmitter started to go in the opposite direction. And if this is who I think it is, there was nothing that you could have done. What happened, Diana said. As Barbara started to put up her equipment, Supergirl finished the same time as Barb's, said Tim as he looked towards them. She was gonna leave and help you, Wonder Woman, but then the tracker started to go in the opposite direction and then stop. I went to check to see what was wrong since Bob's was already heading in your direction. When I got there, Batman was already fishing out her lead transmitter, and the transmitter that Alfred gave her. I don't know what happened, he said. Barbara saw his distress as he walked over and placed a hand on his shoulder. It will be okay, Tim, she said. You didn't know. Don't blame yourself. She's right, Robin, Diana said. Kara is a strong woman. Trained by the Amazons and faced many things. She will be okay. Batman had remained quiet as he stayed out of their conversation, as he tried to contact the one he believed is responsible for her disappearance. After a few minutes of working, he finally had him on screen. Ah, Batman. Good to see you again. Slade. Where is she? The Dark Knight asks. She's safe, the mercenary said. She's where it all started, Bruce. Where the confrontations shape who we are. You know it quite well, don't you? Slade taunted Batman. The others were surprised that Slade knew his identity. However, Bruce was not fazed by that. He already figured out that Slade knew who he was. But the revelation to his past gave him an idea of where Slade had taken Kara. Crime Alley, said Batman. Correct, as he used remote control to turn the camera, showing Kara. As she was tied up with ropes that were glowing green, and there was a circular device under her chin. She's being sedated with hypersonics, thanks to you, Batman, and bound in soak liquid kryptonite ropes. It won't kill her right away, but I would not leave her tied in it for too long. Let me guess, Batman said. You want us to get Shinobi, or you will kill Supergirl. Slade turned the camera back to himself. That is correct. It is not very original, but it's quite direct though. He will know where to find me. He has 24 hours before I kill her. Then again, the radiation might kill her before then. As the camera feed went dead as Batman looked towards the blank screen, as he thought to himself, if I send him, he will kill Slade. There is no if or but, he will kill Slade. Has this been his plan all along? I made a promise to my parents that I would never kill, that I would always try to find another way. As he turned towards the others as Diana had a look of calm resolve, Barbara looked worried, and Tim looked confused. But this time, I don't think there's another way. He thought to himself. Are you going to bring Naruto to face his duel of honor, Diana asks, with a glare? Or are you gonna keep going behind our back and breach our trust? Maybe send someone else in and keep Naruto in the dark against Kara's plight? Bruce did not respond, and that made her even more frustrated. If that's how you feel then. However, he cut her off. This is not a duel of honor, Diana, he said. He almost shouted at her. This is a madman targeting one of our own. He kidnapped his girlfriend and is using her as bait. I thought you wanted Naruto on his side, but now he wants Naruto to kill him. He's forcing a kill response out of the trained assassin. If he does kill Slade Katniss, we'll probably take it as an act of war. This might be a setup for war. Then let them come, she said. Or are you scared that you have not fed them enough information about us to let them win against us? Diana shot back at him. Both Robin and Batgirl were shocked that their mentor was feeding information to a organization with the intent to take down the league. You have no right to berate me for the things I've done to safeguard this planet, he said, as he got to his feet. We had this discussion when all of you were incapacitated by the Legion of Doom. Each member of the Justice League, let alone as a whole, is a threat to this world. There need to be countermeasures in place in case someone go rogue. Then we will set them up, not some black ops government operation that use countermeasures as tools. Or did you forget Galatea and what you made Naruto did to her? Bruce was silent at that, as he had nothing to say to that. He was still conflicted on the issues regarding the Supergirl clone and letting Naruto kill it. Seeing that he had no response, she pushed the argue further, trying to make him cave. You always do this, Bruce. You turn a single problem into a complication issue. Us and these feelings that we have for each other. The possibility of someone going rogue. And now a duel that some madman wants. It's not that simple. The answer came. But the Dark Knight did not say it though. It was Barbara. How is it not simple, sister? We all know each other's strengths and weaknesses, so we will be the best possible countermeasures to stop each other, Diana said. However, the redhead shook her head. From the position of a hero, yes, but not from the position of a civilian. Could you elaborate, Diana said. When Superman was taken over by Darkseid and invaded the Earth, we felt fear, terror, and we had no hope. We had an unstoppable being, tearing through every defense that we had, and we had nothing to protect ourselves. What's to say that it won't happen again? What's to say that it won't be an army of super beings? I am not saying that it will happen again, but Bruce is just preparing for the worst possible case. I don't know what Project Cadmus is or what they do, but if Bruce trusts them, we need to do as well. Diana thought on it for a moment, before she nodded. Well spoken, sister, she said. Very well, Bruce, she said, turning towards him. What do we do? Batman sat and pondered for a moment. If we do nothing, Slade is gonna continue to wreak havoc. If he's planning to turn Naruto, why? Take Kara. None of this makes sense, yet I know someone who might be able to work it all out for us. We make a call, he said, as he started to type away. How did you get this number? A woman spoke from the line. It was Miss Waller. How is irrelevant, Batman said. We need to talk about Slade. What about Deathstroke, Waller asked. Last we heard was when he sent a suicidal robot into our facility and self-destruct it. So he's no longer working for you. You've lost control of another project. Don't patronize me, Wayne. Why do you care? Do you plan to sick your weapon on him? Like what you did to Galatea? Are we next on your hit list, she asks. He's not our weapon. He's a League member and an excellent warrior, Diana said to his defense. When I want your opinion, Amazon, I will ask for it, said Waller. So, are you planning on executing Deathstroke? Waller said. The League does not kill. The clone Galatea was a mockery of life, and you know it. You also knew that you were losing control of it more to the military minds on your staff. You should thank Shinobi instead of persecuting him, Batman said. Coming from you, I find that humorous, she said, but her tone betrayed her. She was angry from earlier. Whatever it is, Slade has set a vendetta against Shinobi. Naruto Uzumaki, what will you do if he kills Slade? Are you willing to go to war for someone trying to protect a loved one? Or will you let the incident pass with what it is, an act of self-defense? The both of them were just staring at each other, neither saying anything for a while, until she finally spoke. Deathstroke has gone AWOL. He has targeted the girlfriend of a person. What he does is no consequences to us, she finally said. To that end, however, if a League member kill, again after Deathstroke is dealt with, we will consider the act of war against the entire Justice League. And we will handle the problem accordingly, she said. As the video feed cut off, Diana knew that Bruce hate killing, and he just got authorization to kill Deathstroke. We know that this is hard for you, Bruce, she said, as she placed a hand on his shoulder, but sometime, even good men have to kill. Bruce nodded. John, he said, tell Dr. Fate to meet me in the cave. I need to speak with Naruto. But guys, it'll be end subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs of the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 of them, guys, which I post what if fun every single day for guys to enjoy. So go ahead, check them out, and yeah, enjoy. So without further ado, wasting more time, what do you say we jump the hell out if you're see you guys soon? Peace.